Swaha Tatsavidevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivadur Mokshiyamamrita Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana Mrityor Mokshiyamamrita. By this prayer, we are asking Lord Shiva, Trambakam, the one with the three eyes, to give us that intellect, to give us that ability to understand and see what life is, who I am, what is my purpose of being here, what am I here for, what does this life and passing away means. We are here to understand, we are here to see. The whole life is for us to understand and know before we pass. Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam. The one who is not only just three eyes, the one with the three eyes means the one who can see beyond. The one who tells us to understand what is life and what is beyond life. And understand that not just the meaning of life, but what does the death means, and who am I here for? What am I here for? To understand that. Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam, the one that is auspicious, the one that is sweet and auspicious. This is all about Lord Shiva. Urvarukamiva Bandhana, just like the cucumber falls when it's mature, cucumber or zucchini you can say, or squash. Just how it falls apart once it is matured automatically by itself. We don't even have to cut it. It just falls. The same way, oh Lord, may I be intellectually, emotionally, be that mature being that understands who am I. What am I here for? What is the purpose of my life? Become that mature. What does that maturity means? Sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanam mrityor mokshiyamamritat. This death is nothing but liberation. There is nothing to cry about because it's liberating, it's beautiful, it's auspicious. It's just like a cocoon is left behind and the beautiful butterfly flew away right in front of us. Yeah? Should we cry for the cocoon or should we be happy for the butterfly that flew away? It is up to us where we focus on. You see that? When we see the butterfly flying away, we rejoice. We are happy that butterfly got a new life, butterfly got a new beautiful body, and it's going to go fly now. It's not like crawling anymore. It's not like cocoon anymore. But it is very difficult for us to understand this because of the attachment, because of the love that we have for Shami. Right? What you are here witnessing, has anybody witnessed the caterpillar turn into butterfly? It is a very beautiful moment. Yes, Sonali is saying yes. Sonali, please come here. Please help me out here. It is very beautiful to understand this. Only if anybody who has watched this would know the meaning, would know the understanding behind it. Here the caterpillar is crawling and then it suddenly stops crawling and stays where it is and then forms a cocoon automatically around it, right? The caterpillar did not have to do. What did it do? It just meditated. Just stays where it is. What does that mean? once we meditate upon who we are, that meditation is the cocoon life. It's just being where it is. It doesn't crawl, it doesn't do anything. It just beautifully stays where it is. Why? Because it needs that warmth and that maturity in order for it to break that cocoon and fly away like a beautiful butterfly. Right?
Yeah.
So this is what we are witnessing right now. Shumi, Jivatma, which is called soul, right? It flew away and it became now a butterfly. It merged into pure consciousness. It is going to go get a new life. We should rejoice. We should be happy for her. Only when we are happy for her getting a new body, new life, new family, of course, but we are going to miss her. So should we cry that we are going to miss, or should we be happy for her? It's up to you to decide. So Sonali loves to say the prayers too.
Yeah.
And she enjoys saying prayers. And she has learned a lot of prayers. So we are going to say some prayers together. Yeah, until Panditji comes. You can start with Sahana Bhavatu.
Sahana bhavatu, sahana bhunatu, sahaviram karvavai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vakatunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Nurmedeva Sarvakaryashu Sarvada. Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam.
That is beautiful. What does that mean? It means, oh God, give us that beautiful intellect for us to understand the maturity of life, the maturity of our emotions, for us to understand who am I and what am I here for, what is the purpose of my life, and where am I going? Am I beautiful butterfly right now, or am I going to wait until I become beautiful butterfly later on? It is up to us to decide. We are the beautiful butterfly which came from the previous life, and we will continue being a new butterfly when we leave this cocoon back. Yeah? So there are so many prayers she sang, and that is to invoke, it's an invocation to Lord Ganesha to give us the ability and strength to face any obstacles in life, which is the Lord of taking away obstacles, right? Ganesha, she prayed to him too. And not only the outer obstacles, but the inner obstacles. The inner obstacles we face the most, which is the emotional, all the emotions that we go through in order to achieve, to be successful, to become beautiful, to be auspicious. And Ganesha is the one gets rid of all those obstacles, inner and outer. She prayed. And priest is going to again take us through the very beautiful rituals. But the prayers all starts with what Sonali did today. And she also prayed to the Guru, which is teacher, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, that to give us the ability, again, the ability to see beyond. And the Guru does that. Guru means the teacher who takes us beyond of understanding of the mind and intellect, The body, mind and intellect is a very limited understanding. And Guru is the one take us beyond. That is a spiritual aspect of it. And she prayed to the teacher, to the Guru too. She also prayed to Saraswati. Goddess Saraswati is the mother of, again, knowledge and understanding and intellect. And she prayed that Mother Saraswati too to give us that intellect and ability and knowledge to understand. Beautiful prayers. Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to say any prayers? Or beautiful stories. He has so many beautiful stories I get to about Shumiji.
Very brief, 1 second, I can tell you my life story. My entire life story, as you have seen, I was holding her hands. 64 years ago, at the marriage ceremony, I held her hand. Her hand was put in my hand. And today, I am holding her hands, which I shall never hold again. My story began with I had. My story ends with I won't be holding her hand anymore. God bless and thanks to you all.
I just want to take a few moments to thank everybody for being here today, for those who traveled from afar, those who couldn't make it but are just joining us online, to celebrate the life of Mom, also known as Sushma or Julka to a lot of you. It's very difficult for me to quantify being an engineer. It's hard to quantify and fully express the importance of Mom in my life. From the first time I met her, she welcomed me into the family with such warmth and love. It was so striking to me that someone I could just met could be so loving and open. And even when minutes before we had just met face to face for the first time, she made me feel like we'd known each other all our lives. I've learned so much from her in these past greater than 25 years that we've been together, and that I've known her truthfully. She was a mom to me in every way. And I was her daughter in every way. She taught me how to cook Indian meals. She was an excellent cook. And we spent hours and hours talking about jewelry. Every single piece she owns, and she owns a lot, has a story, has a memory. And she bought jewelry every travel, every trip she made. When she was buying pearls for Auntie, she would buy 2 more. And she was buying, whatever she bought, she always bought ahead. And she has them in triplicates now, each for each of her granddaughters. I still remember the first time we went to Karoba. My first introduction to her jeweler. I lost her in the crowd. For those who have not been to India, Karoba is like a very overpopulated place and very crowded. And she's so tiny, but she was so swift. And luckily I'm tall, so I could find her in the crowd and find my way to her. I learned from her how to be a good wife. Just watching Mom and Dad every day is so inspiring. They're such role models. How to care. And being a sister. Although Mom didn't have biological sisters, she had a full extended family. And she would talk about them as if they were her sisters. And they meant the world to her. And most importantly, I learned from her how to be a mom. I really truly understand now the meaning of the I dedicated my thesis to Mom and Dad as they fully embraced every aspect. They took care of me, and they've been there all the time. Mom lived alone, and she would say she lived a good life. But what I wouldn't give, to hold her hand one more time, to see her smile, one more kiss, and one more hug. I miss her so much. And Sonali,
Yeah.
you're gonna say something?
Hi, as most of you know, I'm Sonali, Dabi's youngest granddaughter, and I've known Dabi Mara for my entire life, and every day I could, I went to see her. Every single day we pray together, play, and laugh. I also watch TV pretty often, and always when we'd have a good day. I just have one thing to say. I love you so much, forever. I'll remember and honor you with all my heart. I love you. I made this for Daddy. It was the plan to leave you with her.
I'll let someone take some time to talk about Mom and what she meant to me. Every child naturally thinks that his mom is the world's greatest, and I was no different. As I look around the room now, and I hear all the stories from people who know Mom, people who have called in and told me stories, and everything else, and just think how loving Mom was, I truly realized that Mom was really very, very special, and how lucky I was to have her as my mom. To begin, Mom was 91 years old, only 3 days younger than Dad, and had a great, long life full of love, happiness, and she was always surrounded by family and friends, and a lot of them are here now. So let me just talk a little bit about Mom. Okay. During that time, when girls really were not encouraged to pursue higher education, and also there was India had been just partitioned, and there was a major refugee crisis, and Mom had moved and everything else. During that time, she still managed to get her degree from Punjab University. And she was actually very proud of that accomplishment, and always it means still the fact that if I want to study and everything, that was great. So after I finished my PhD, it's kind of pretty much done. I really didn't want to leave, okay? I wanted to kind of hang around and be a graduate student. That was just my calling in life. And people say, look, it's time to move on, get a real job and everything else. Mom said, no, if you want to study, you want to learn more, go ahead, enjoy it. This is your time. Mom loved to drive and actually was a very good driver. But when she first started to drive, this was so I heard, basically she could not make a three-point turn. So one time she had to go pick me up. I'm not sure why she had to go pick me up. I think it was because I couldn't come by the bus because there was some kidnapping threats against me or whatever. But anyway, Mom had to go pick me up. And she was actually going with my uncle. My obviously Bill's uncle was there as well. But she said, no, it's okay, we'll go and drive. Okay. So basically she drove to school, picked me up. But to come back home, she actually had to make a three-point turn to come back the normal way. So instead, she went for a very long, meandering drive through Baliganj in Calcutta. After a while, my uncle asked her, where are we going? Why are we doing this whole thing? Oh, Mom said, I can't make a three-point turn, but if I keep on doing all of this stuff, eventually we'll reach home safe and sound. So she was not going to let the fact that she couldn't make a three-point turn stop her from doing something. And everything in life, and Mom would do, she would never let things stop her. Okay. Mom also had done something which frankly I had never done. I think most people would have never had done here. She actually overtook an aircraft. So one time we were going from Delhi to Chandigarh, and we were on the highway. And on the highway, there was this Air Force jet on a flatbed that was going from Delhi going along. And as a result, it was going nice and slow. It was a big plane. I mean, it would probably be a MiG or whatever at that time, on a big flatbed. And so, and Mom was driving the car, and she was stuck behind them for a while or whatever. And she just got tired of that. She went into the dirt, drove right around, and took right off, leaving the plane way back in her this way. She was actually also a very good driver. And for example, in Hong Kong, one time we were going to school, and you had to kind of go down a really steep hill to get a flat car. And the brakes somewhat failed. Mom managed to steer around things, including kind of going halfway on the pavement to avoid cars. Managed to get us onto the flat car, brake, and all safe and sound. So, Mom also loved to travel. I mean, she was born before partition, but who would imagine all the different places she lived in? She lived in all over India. We lived in Hong Kong. Then we lived in Boston, Charleston, West Virginia, which is, trust me, nobody ever thought we would live in Charleston, West Virginia, of all the places in the world. She lived in San Diego, and finally here. But she also loved to basically travel a lot. So she traveled all over Asia. I mean, she went to virtually every major tourist destination in Asia, which at all times really weren't that heavy. I mean, in those days, to kind of go to all of these places was unusual. Not very common, but in those days it was quite unusual. So she traveled throughout Asia. She's been to many places in Europe, of course all over America, Hawaii, and that beautiful picture you see over there is Mom in Hawaii, I think, on Diamond Head. That's my guess. We weren't invited to go on that trip, so I'm not quite sure about that. And there are other trips we've been seeing pictures of lately that we can't figure out because, well, Dibu and I were not invited along on this trip, so right? And she even came with us. Of course, she saw a lot of America, Canada, and all, but she even came with us down to Brazil as well, and she actually went to Rio, so she actually went all the way there. And I think my mom was. She loved, everywhere she traveled, she loved to basically buy things, as basically curious. And how to take care full of them. No matter how big or how small they were, she would manage to get them, especially the big ones. So she would buy big things and somehow could talk the gate agent into letting her take it on as a carry-on. And for example, and when we go home, you'll see actually there's a statue of this person. There's a statue from Bali that Mom bought. Actually, when she was carried to a plane, she dropped it and it broke her toe, but didn't bother her. She still managed to get on the plane with that thing and bring it home. And over the years, she managed to bring a lot of those things from India to here, not by shipping them, but through her check bags, okay? So every time I would go pick her up, I knew, oh my God, we're gonna have incredibly heavy bags, because I don't know how Mom packed them, but we had, tables, chairs, statues, you name it, that come through check bags. Okay. And Mom was also an incredible packer. I mean, she could take a suitcase and amount of stuff she could put in there was unbelievable. Okay. So I remember one time, I was a student at Born Home, and I was coming back here, and I was reconnected to Amsterdam, and my mom had packed the bags, everything else. And I got to the security agent, and the customs guy pulled me over for a random check. So he said, have you packed your bag? I said, well, not technically, my mom packed it. He said, you mind if I open it and check it out? I said, sure, I have no problem with you opening the bag. But again, Mom packed the bag, and I know there's no way in the world I can repack it. We take it out, I'm not sure you can put it back in again. The guy said, don't worry, I'm very good at packing. It's okay. You open the bag up, look at one item, and said, I don't want you to check anymore. It's not clear to me, I can repack the bag either. So I don't know how, she had the ability to kind of squeeze things in. I was telling Mom, this can never fit in that. No, it fits in there. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's only right. One of the big passions was our house, and many of you have been there and seen, okay. Mom was not an engineer. She was not an architect. She had no technical training. But she supervised the design and construction of the house brick by brick. She would fight with the architect and tell her, no, it should be like this. And she said, no, man, you can't do this. They said, no, do it. Why? She said, well, the Lord can't go there. No, she said, trust me, the Lord will go there. Okay, and they were going to do the calculation, and it turned out the mom was right. So she really helped with the house. She would argue this thing, with basically the contractor until everything was the way it should be. Daddy was telling me that sometimes in the morning he would go to the house and it was being built and everything would look okay. They would come back in the evening because mom was really trying to build in the house and some of the walls had moved. Okay, mom decided it really didn't belong there. Let's move the house there, it will look more open and better. Okay. Another story that I actually heard about was this, they were actually about to lay the roof. And in India, it's a very labor-intensive mechanical factory. First lay out the steel and everything else. The next day, all the laborers come, mix the concrete manually, and pour it. And basically, they carry it on their head up the ramps and pour it in. So in the evening, man looked at it and talked to the contractor and said that in her opinion, there really wasn't enough steel there. Okay? The contractor said, no, ma'am, I've done this all these years. There's more than enough steel here. Ma'am said, no, there's not enough steel here. She demanded the architect who came, looked at it and said, yeah, there's not enough steel here. And mom made the contractor work all night long to put enough steel in there. So by the morning when they could lay the roof on time, everything was the way it should be. She knew every load-bearing wall, every beam, everything in the house she knew. And even for example, many years ago they wanted to kind of add addition and rebuild the house, and I was here and mom was showing me, saying, Mom, we really need to have someone do the calculation and look at the loads and how they will redistribute and everything else. Mom said, don't worry, it's all will work out fine. I said, no, Mom, we really should do this. Men come, I'll talk to the engineer, and after we figure it out. Then when we went back 6 months later, it was all done. So it worked out fine. And even one time when I actually wanted to make a renovation to some bathroom design and everything else, I did a full engineering drawing, I did all the calculations, I showed it to the contractor, who wasn't willing to agree. So mom told him, I looked at it, it's going to work, go ahead, do it. So being an engineer made no difference. Mom was also very religious, but in a true sense, in the sense that she had a deep love of God. She was not bound or constrained by custom, rules, dogma, or anything like that. She was Hindu, but she loved all religions, all God. In fact, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Julka and I, we all went to basically Montreal. And so before we left, Mom said, when you go to Montreal, go to the main cathedral there, say a prayer, and light a candle. It's kind of out of blue, so I'm saying, Mom, why do you want me to do this? Because this is not generally something I do. And Mom said to me, okay, about 12, 13 years ago, remember we had last gone there as all of us. They said before Somali was born, she had gone there, she had prayed for a grandchild for us, and had lit a candle there, and now she wanted to go back, thank God for that, and she wanted us to do that because she couldn't do it herself. So she really had a true sense of love of God. But given all these things, Mom's true passion was her family. Mom and Dad were together for 64 years. She loved and was truly devoted to Dad. They shared everything, through good times and bad times. Actually, Mom was not only that, even our anchor and foundation through the bad times. She was the one who helped us get through all the bad times as well. Now, Mom and Dad were very social. They had a big circle of friends, a lot of parties and everything else. But in the end, Mom and Dad were each other's best friends. And they had a great life. They did so much together. Daddy, I know it's really hard to go on, okay? But we have to. Mom expected that of us. We have to move on. Well, what about Vibhu? Okay. So Vibhu was her Urdu beta. This means talking. Okay. And from the very beginning, she instilled in me that as the elder brother, he was my responsibility, and I would have to look out for him and everything else. I didn't know what to do, but in a soft and loving manner. So if I got mad at him, I was, no, Vicky, don't do that. It's okay. And she had a sense of fairness. Everything between us had to be fair. So when we went to secondary school, and so time when we went to having school lunches, we actually had to buy our own lunch. So we would get an allowance, okay? And mom said the only fair thing is that we both get the same allowance. To me, well, mom, that's not really fair. I mean, I should get my allowance, and the Bush should get the allowance that I got 4 years ago. I mean, we had a 4-year age difference. It should be 4 years ago, okay? But no, mom always did the same, and Priya and I have the same issue now with Boo right now, which is, this is the birth of the eldest. We never really get, the respect that we deserve. But mom had a very soft spot in her heart for Boo. He could never do any wrong. In fact, whenever she would call or whenever I just talk to mom about Boo, she would really light up. Then Giselle, though, as she said, you were her daughter in every way. And when I look at you now, and I think what person I was with, you've changed a lot, and it's really been shaped by mom. So the best way I can really show you how important Giselle was to mom, is very simply, she would frequently, to strangers, introduce her as my daughter and son-in-law. It was very common, right? No? Yes. And that tells you how important she was to her. Now, her grandchildren, Priya, the eldest, she spent a lot of time with Priya, and we have a lot of days to see with Priya. Nina, of course, and her youngest Sonali. They were the light of her life. She loved them dearly, and they all know how much they meant to her. Then, of course, there were her brothers, Kuku uncle, Subhash uncle, who passed away, but her Kuku uncle, being much younger, they had a very close relationship, and of course with Suraj auntie. And as Giselle said, and as I've been finding out today more and more, even though mom didn't have biological sisters, she had so many sisters, Lata auntie, Usha auntie, they were all together. And so mom's love of family extended well beyond just our immediate family, a much bigger extended family. To basically know her was to love her. She immediately embraced you as a daughter, a son, sister, brother, uncle, or aunt, okay? It wasn't only, and one of the things that I really loved was that anywhere we lived, okay? Basically distant cousins, their kids and all, they all came and stayed with us. From long, from short. Many of us actually had lived together for quite a while. And mom loved that. Mom loved having family come. It was very natural for us that people come and stay with us. And honestly speaking, when you guys left, she felt quite sad. She really loved having all of you there. And she really cared about all everybody came. Basically for all of you, there was nothing that she would do for me and Vibhu that she wouldn't do for all of you. And your successes, your dreams were hers, and she had great love and joy for what you guys had done. So we want to thank you for everything. But her extended family wasn't only uncles, aunts. It was Giselle's family. They all became part. Good theirs and Becky and all. They truly loved mom. Okay, but it was there. It also included friends. For example, all my friends would kind of come and know her as auntie and all. And sometimes she got me in trouble because some of my friends would kind of go home and eat, and one of my friends, Vicky, would happily go home, ask mom to make her something to eat and everything else. When I was supposedly way too busy at IST to come home and spend time with them. Okay? Very, very difficult. How come Vicky could come home and have dinner with us, but you're too busy working. So yes. But even people who worked for us, they were basically, they became members of extended family, and mom was either their DD, their auntie, their daughter-in-law. And they stayed with us for a very long time. And they too, and mom truly cared about them and wanted to do whatever was best for their lives. And two, I really want to acknowledge Alata, who's just our housekeeper in India for I think over 20 years, nearly 20 years now. And Rose, who's sitting over here, who in the last year and a half really took care of mom. To the extent they became very close. And when Rose recently got married, Dad walked her down the aisle, and mom had the role of the mother. That tells you how important and how loving mom was, and how people just in her orbit became part of the family. She was the glue that really held the family on together. And that responsibility now is yours. Continue that. So that was mom, but now I want to talk to you about my feelings for her. And I've been struggling to come up with some words or sentences that really just kind of sum up what mom really meant to me. So I really couldn't come up with that, so I'm going to use the words, plagiarize, whatever, you know, the words that my uncle told me when I told mom I passed away. And that is, mom was my everything. My first memory of mom was her singing me a lullaby. And these days when I'm having a hard time sleeping, so when I close my eyes, I can hear that lullaby, and that helps me go to sleep. She was actually very courageous. So when I was a baby, mom and dad were on a scooter, and as was their time, dad would drive a scooter, mom was on a scooter, she was holding me in her arm. There was an accident. Okay? There was a scooter accident. And mom could have done the easiest things, put her arms out and saved herself, everything else. Instead, she held on tight to me, even though that meant she going to have a serious injury that left problems and pain for her entire life after that point. Sometimes I would say, Mom, I'm so sorry that this happened to me. That's one of the few times that really matter to me, saying, don't ever say that. So Mom, she could easily have let me go, but she didn't. And that's really who she was. When I was younger, I used to have bad migraine headaches. So when I was that, I would take the medicine, then I'd go put my head in Mom's lap, and she would basically massage my forehead and everything else, and I would feel better. Now, as you get older, and you're a boy, you're kind of going to your mom and saying, Mom, I'm really pain and all, isn't really acceptable, and that's not what you do. You have to kind of suck it up and move on. But if I have to be real, I have to be honest about this, every time I got hurt or was in pain or very tired or worried, in my mind and heart, I would say, Mom, I'm hurting. And I could hear her say, it is okay, it will go away, it will be fine. Now, I have lots of great memories, and some of obviously Mom during our time in Hong Kong, India, US, and everything else. But there's one constant. I was always her little Raja Beta. I mean, whether I was 10 years old, 16, 30, 40, and even 60, for her, I was a child. It was always a big, go eat this, make sure you're eating enough. Are you resting enough? Have you done this? Don't do this, don't do that. So Mom was always my mom, no matter how old I got. As far as I was concerned, she was always looking out for me. Now, one story I want to basically mention to you is, one day, Babu and I were actually playing table tennis at home. I just finished my 5th grade at home. And table tennis is kind of being used a bit loosely. Maybe we just made up the game as we went along. And suddenly we got a telegram. In those days, we used to get our telegrams saying I had been accepted into IIT. I had applied. I didn't think I would get in. I had no desire to go or whatever. But suddenly it's happened, and I had to leave in a few days' time. And Mom started to cry. So I went to Mom and said, Mom, what's wrong? I know you're sad about me going. I don't really want to go. And I'm hoping Mom says, yes, you don't have to go. But she said, no, you have to go. But she was crying because she said, when boys go to college, right, they really leave the home and they never really come back. So, now, Mom was right about many things. But this is the one thing Mom was wrong about. We have always been together. For example, even when we were in graduate school, Mom and Dad would come spend 6 months with us. We would live in college towns. We would figure out how to sleep on the floor, share, Mom and Dad had a bed, Babu and I shared the floor, or just something, but we always were together. And anywhere I moved, Mom and Dad had always been there. And I really love the fact that I had really grown up with them. When I first introduced, basically, as I mentioned, when I first introduced her to Mom, I was kind of worried, because she was Indian and everything else, so how was Mom reacting to all of this stuff? Mom loved her from the very beginning, and after you kind of gone that day, she said wonderful things about you. And that's when I really knew that I had made a good choice. I made a choice for a person who would come and fit into our family. And she was always the one who I always turned to when something good happened or something bad happened. And and she was also very strong. For example, the night Sonali was born, it was one of the best, greatest, and worst days of my life. Sonali was born. She was perfectly fine. Everything went wrong with Giselle. She was in critical condition. They were trying to save her life. Mom and Dad were actually home. I told her, Mom, stay home, it's too late for you to come over. But she still came over. Mom and Dad drove over at night time and dark. Came to the hospital, comforted me, told me that everything is okay. I remember when the doctor came, Mom walked over to him and said, you will save my daughter. And he did. I had Mom for 63 years. I know I'm supposed to be grateful for that, and one day I will. But today, I'm just angry and sad because I wanted more. Now, the last few years were hard for Mom. You know what I mean? She was a very independent person, everything else. And the last couple of years, she was semi-bedridden. After her cancer diagnosis and surgery, she was semi-bedridden. And this wasn't, I think, the way Mom wanted it to be. But I would go tell Mom, Mom, I know this is not what you really wanted, but every day I come down, I see you, it makes me happy. Mom said, if it makes you happy, it's fine. It's perfectly okay, don't worry about it. Mom taught me how to be a better son, a better brother, a better uncle, a better husband. Trust me, if I ever got mad at Giselle, I was the one who was in trouble no matter what the issue was. And above all, a better parent. It's just like you have to do your work, you have to do this, get angry with her. I was like, no, why are you doing? Don't yell at her. Be gentle, be kind, talk to her. Sonali loved her Dalima very much. And you just saw that with all the things she's done in her speech. And there's a lot of Mom in her. Her mannerisms, her openness, her accepting heart. Unlike me, she's actually very, very religious, and we have pictures of her with Mom, at the age of 2, sitting in front of the temple, and she now has her own temple and everything else. And she loved Indian clothes, and I love her jewelry, which I'm sure is going to bankrupt us. Okay. So, and every time I see her, I'm reminded of Mom. Not in a sad way, but in a happy way. Now, this time everything that happened, it happened very fast. It happened very quickly. About a year and a half ago, Mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she had surgery. And we had a day where we talked. We talked about things that we would generally never talk about. And especially the hour and a half in which I was with her before she actually went into the surgery. And I was the only one there. So she told me that she had a great life. It was much more than she ever expected and hoped. She loved her life, and she was at peace. But she was worried about that. But she said, if we stick together, we will be okay. I told her how much I loved her, how grateful I was that she was my mother. And then I said to her, Mom, the best gift I've ever given you was first Giselle and then Sonali. And the best gift I ever gave Giselle was you. And she held my hand tight, had a big smile. You see a little tear in her eye, and I leaned over, she gave me a big kiss. So I always remember that, but then at that time, she went into surgery. And she remembered that day, and we talked about it even more, but that was really important. So even though Mom is physically gone, I know she will always be with me. Mom, I love you very much. I'm so grateful that you are my mom. You will always be my heart. And I will keep on loving you until my last breath. super badly. This is huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is not bad. Good job.
ॐ ध्रुवन्ते राजावरुणात् ध्रुवन् देवो बृहस्पतिः ध्रुवन्त इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च राष्ट्रं धारयतां ध्रुवं पर्वत इवाभिचाचलिः इन्द्र इवेह ध्रुवस्तिष्ठ इह राष्ट्रमुधारय अभिदिष्टकृतं यतः अदरे सन्तु शत्रवः इन्द्र इव वृत्रः तिष्ठ ॐ this is a big mantra.
Okay.
I will cut it.
Okay, good. Thank you. That would be helpful.
Because this is the last right.
Yeah. Sure.
So that's why we want to.
No, absolutely.
That's right. When I chanting the mantra, just see make it easy to observe and can be used. Namo, Namo,
Namo
Brahmanya,
Brahmanya
Devaya,
Devaya
Go,
Go
Brahmana,
Brahmana
Hitaya,
Hitaya
Jagat,
Jagate
Hitaya,
Hitaya
Krishnaya,
Krishnaya
Shri
Shri
Govindaya,
Govindaya
Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha.
You know your Gotra?
Gotra?
Kashyap, Bharadwaj, Kaushal.
Auntie? What's that Gotra? Bushan Gotra.
Big.
Bushan. Okay, good to know.
Just write it down because which means Gotra means which family we came.
Bushan Gotra.
Yeah, that's
Bushan?
Kaushal.
Bushan.
Which means which family we came,
Okay.
which origin.
Okay.
This is called Kaushala, Gotram, Mama, Mataram, Mrita, Kali, Marana, Kali, Samasta, Badha, Nivritti, Artam, Rug, Charma, Badha, Nivritti, Artam, Prana, Vimochana, Kali, Prana, Avastha, Dosha, Parihara, Artham, Godana, Dasadana, Karma, Karishye, Karishye. Yajna, Upavitam, Paramam, Pavitram, Praja, Patehe, Yat, Sahajam, Purastat, Ayushyam, Agriyam, Prati, Muncha, Shubhram, Yajnyoka, Pitam, Balam, Astu, Tejaha, Om. Stand up. You are the touch it and give it. Just touch it.
Right, just, right?
Just touch it.
Okay.
Yeah. Please. Everyone just touch it. Koshala, Gotram, mother's name. Marana, Kali, Ganga Jala, Tulasi, Tirtham, Samarpayami. Three times. कंठे रुद्रसमाश्रितः मूले दत्तस्थितो ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृगणास्पदाः कुक्षौसागराः सर्वे सप्तद्वीपा वसुन्धरा ऋग्वेदोऽथैर्वेदः सामवेदोऽख्यधर्मः अङ्गैश्चरहिताः सर्वे कलशामृतमाश्रिताः आयान्तु देवपूजार्थं दुरिदक्षयकारकाः इमं मे वरुणश्वतीहमद्यातमृडया त्वामवस्युराचके तत्पायामि ब्रह्मणा वन्दमानस्तदागाः ते रमानो हविर्भिः अहेडमानो वरुणे हवोद्युरुडकं समान आयुष्प्रमोषीः अस्मिन् कलश तीर्थे कोशल गोत्रं सुष्मा नाम्नि मातरं प्रेत शुद्धि अर्थं प्रेतः श्वः दहन अर्थं शुद्धिकर कर्म आरंभ काले कलश देवताय नमो नमः शुद्धि कलश देवताय नमो नमः आवाहनं समर्पयामि कलश देवताय शुद्धि कलश देवताय नमो नमः आसनं समर्पयामि कलश देवताय नमो नमः रत्न सिंह आसनं समर्पयामि ओम सिंधवे नमः ओम कावेर्यै नमः ओम भवान्यै नमः मम मातुः अद्य कौशल गोत्रां सुष्मा नाम्नीं मातुः मरण काले प्रेत दहन अर्थं प्रेत शुद्धिकर पूजां मंत्र जपं करिष्ये ओम शांति 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 ओम तदिग्राविन्नो अकारणं जिष्णोरस्वस्य वाजिनः सुरभिनो मुखाकर्पण आयोगं सिदारडते आभोगिट्टाम योगवत्तान भोर्जे ददातन महेरणाय चक्षुषे योगशिवतमोरदत्तस्य भाजय देहनः उषतीरिव मातरः तस्मा अरङ्गमामभो यस्य क्षयाय जिन्मत आपो जनयदातनः हिरण्यवर्ण आश्रुतयः पावकायासु जातकस्य भूयास्विन्द्रः अग्निः आगर्भन्तदिरे विरूपास्तान आवश्यग्रस्योना भवन्तो यासान् देवादिगृह्णन्ति भक्षय्या अन्तरिक्षे बहुधा भवन्ति या पृथिवीं वयसो अन्तन्ति शुक्रास्तान आवश्यग्रस्योना भवन्तो शिवेन माचक्षुषा पश्यता पश्यवया धनुवोपस्फुटतस्म पवित्रेण पुनन्तु पुनाहिमा शुक्रेण देवदीप्यते ब्रह्मतेन पुनी ऋषभिः सम्पृतगं रसं तस्मै सरस्वती दुहे सुदजाहिपयसानीर्दिशं देवीर्देवै ऋषभिः सम्पे सदा सदोद्यामुगरुणः समीच्य महे तत्त्वमः शान्तिनाशालिनाशान्तरामि शान्तिर्शान्तिरां धर्मनस्पश्शान्ति शान्तिर्म्यापह्यं विपदो वस्तु देवताय उपचार धूपं चूर्ण संयुक्तं ताम्बूलं प्रति गृह्यताम् प्राणायानाय स्वाहा उदानाय स्वाहा समानाय स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा शुद्धि कलश देवताय नमो नमः वरुणाय नमो नमः फल ताम्बूल सहित नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि समस्त उपचार पूजा समर्पयामि वरुणाय शुद्धि कलश देवताय नमो नमः कर्पूरं समर्पयामि कर्पूरं समर्पयामि रक्षां धारयामि शुद्धि कलश देवताय वरुणाय नमो नमः समस्त उपचार पूजां समर्पयामि. ॐ आशिष्यशानो विषलो न युग्मो गणागणः क्षोभनश्चर्षणीनां सङ्क्रन्दनो निषेकवीरश्वतकं सेना अजयत्सारमिन्द्रः सङ्क्रन्दनेनानिविषेण जिष्णुना युक्कारेण दुष्यवनेन दुष्णुना तदिन्द्रेण जयतरत्सहद्वंशो नरहिषुहस्तेन विष्णाः सहिषुहस्तैः सनिषङ्गिभिर्वती सन्त्यसृष्टासैद इन्द्रो गणेन सकृत्सृष्टदित्सो उपावासुर्द्योर्द्वदन्वा प्रतिहिता विरस्ताः बृहस्पते परिधीयापते नरक्षोः वित्तागम् अववादमानः प्रबन्धन्स्तेनाः प्रमणो युष्माकमेद्यविदारसानः गोत्रहितं गोपितं भद्रभावं जयन्तमश्वप्रमणं प्रमोदसा इमपुं सजाता अनुवीरयध्वमिङ्गं सखायो नु सगं प्रबद्धं फलविज्ञायस्तविरप्रवीरसहस्वा शोभिरैः. ॐ इषुहस्ते विष्णाः सहिषुहस्तैः सरखड्गविर्वसे सद्गस्सृष्टासैद इन्द्रो गणेन सगुंसृष्टदित्सोमुपावाससद्योर्द्वदन्वा परिहिता विरस्ताः. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. You want to change this direction? No, fully change. Hand. Okay. Yes. See this. Breathe. Feel it. That's it. Yes. So you do the counter. Okay. Who are doing? You want to do this. Okay. Which means we are the person. ॐ भूः स्वाहा अग्नये नमो नमः. भुवः स्वाहा वायवे नमो नमः. सुवः स्वाहा सूर्याय नमो नमः. स्वाहा नमो नमः. ओ when I finish mantra is स्वाहा, just you want to ॐ आसत्येन वर्तमानो निवेदयन् नम सम्मत्यं च हिरण्येन दुरिदानसेन देवोयादिभुवनादिपश्यन् स्वाहा. अग्निन्दूतं नीमहे होतारं विश्ववेदसम् अस्य यज्ञस्य तत्र स्वाहा. एकावेशे पशुपतिस्पशूराञ्चदुष्पदामुदद्विपदाः निष्क्रीतो हि यज्ञियं भागमेतराय स्फोटा यजमानस्य सन्तु स्वाहा. आप्यायुस्तुतमे तुते विश्वतस्वमुष्णीयं भवावादस्सदङ्गते स्वाहा. अप्सुमे सोमो ब्रवीदिन्दर्विश्वानिवेडजा अग्निं च विश्वतं भौमावश्च विश्ववेडजी स्वाहा. गौरीमिमाय सरलाङ्कक्षत्येकपदे द्विपदीकादुष्पदे अष्टापदी नवपदी भूपदी सहस्राक्षराबलमे व्योमं स्वाहा. अग्निर्मूर्धादिवः कवित्पदे पृथिव्या अयं पागं वेदागं सुजिन्वति स्वाहा. शिवरापति विवारुक्षरानिवेशनी नित्यानशर्मदप्रधा स्वाहा. क्षेत्रस्य पदिनामयगं हृदेनेव दयामसि गामश्वं बोडयित्वादनो मृडाति दृढे स्वाहा. उद्बद्धस्वाग्नेः प्रतिजागृह्येन मिष्टाभूतेतकं सुजेता वयं च पुनः देयित्वयुदन्तपुङ्गज्ञ स्वाहा. इदं विष्णुविधिक्रमे त्रेदानददेवहं नमो नमस्य भागं सुरे स्वाहा. विष्णोररारमसि विष्णोः विष्णवसि विष्णोस्पत्रेः त्वा विष्णोस्यूरसि विष्णोः निरूपसि वैष्णवसि विष्णवे त्वा स्वाहा नमः शुक्राय भागवे वरद्वगं हव्यं वसिञ्चाग्नये सुपूतं यो देव्यानिमानुराजनो विश्वन्दरविश्वानि विद्वानधिगाति स्वाहा इन्द्राणी माधुनारिण सुपत्नी महमश्रमं नित्यस्य अपरञ्जनजलसामरदेवति स्वाहा इन्द्रं वो विश्वदस्परिहवामहेदनेभ्यः अस्माकमस्तु केवल स्वाहा ॐ बृहस्पते अतीदर्यो अर्हाः द्विमद्विवादिक्तमध्यनेढो यद्वीदयच्छवदरदप्रजातकदस्मासुद्रविणन्देहि तत्रग् स्वाहा इन्द्रमरुत्वैरवारि सौम्यं यथाशार्याते अविवस्वतस्य तव प्रणीति तव शूरसन्मन्नाभिवादन्ति कवयस्व यज्ञा स्वाहा ब्रह्मविज्ञानं प्रथमं पुरस्ताद्विसीमतस्सुरुचो वेनावः सबुद्ध्या उपमाश्च विट्टात् सदत्तयो निमुसदत्तविव स्वाहा शन्नो देवी रवित्रय आपो भवन्तु पीतयेः संयोरविस्रवन्तु न स्वाहा प्रजापतेन त्वदेतान्यन्यो विश्वा जातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्ते जुहुमस्तन्नो अस्तवयज्ञस्यामुपतयोरीणां स्वाहा ॐ कयानश्चित्र आपुवधूते सदावृतस्सखाः कयासुतिष्ठयावृता स्वाहा आयङ्गो प्रज्ञरक्रमेतसरन्मातरं पुनः पितरं च प्रयन्सुव स्वाहा यत्ते देवी निर्विद्यावन्धनामग्रीवास्वविधत्यम् इदं ते तद्दृश्याम्यायुषो नमद्याददादीवक्तितमद्विप्रमुक्त स्वाहा केतुं कण्मन्न केतवेपेशो मर्या अपेक्षतेः समुद्रविरजायथा स्वाहा ब्रह्मादेवानां पदवीः कवीनां षड्विद्वानां महितो मृगाणां शेनो गृद्रानमविस्वति तिर्वनानमगुं सोमपवित्रमत्येतिरेवन् स्वाहा सचित्रचित्रं जतयं तपस्मे चित्रक्षत्रचित्रतमं वयोधां चन्द्रं नयं पुरवीरं बृहन्तं चन्द्रचन्द्राभिगृणते युवस्व स्वाहा इंद्राय स्वाहा 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 अग्नये स्वाहा स्वाहा यमाय स्वाहा स्वाहा धर्मराजाय स्वाहा स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा स्वाहा अंधकाय स्वाहा स्वाहा रैव स्वकाय स्वाहा स्वाहा कालाय स्वाहा सर्व भूत क्षयाय स्वाहा औदुम्बराय स्वाहा दग्नाय स्वाहा नीलाय स्वाहा परमेष्टिने स्वाहा वृकोदराय स्वाहा चित्राय स्वाहा चित्रगुप्ताय स्वाहा निर्हृदये स्वाहा वैव स्वकाय स्वाहा वरुणाय स्वाहा वायवे स्वाहा सोमाय स्वाहा ईशानाय स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा विष्णवे स्वाहा रुद्राय स्वाहा ॐ अनाज्ञातं निराज्ञातं यज्ञस्य क्रियते विधो अग्ने तदस्य कल्पय स्वाहा अग्नये स्वाहा ॐ त्वं सोमकृतविक्रमभूत् स्वाहा अग्नये स्वाहा यत्पाकक्रामनसा दीनरक्षाणां यज्ञस्य मन्वते वक्ता सः अग्निष्टद्धोताः कृतविद्विजानन् यजिष्ठो देवान् ऋतुषो यजाति स्वाहा स्वाहा अग्नये नमो नमः पुनः भूः स्वाहा भुवः स्वाहा सुवः स्वाहा भूः भुवः सुवः स्वाहा अग्नये नमो नमः मंत्र हीनं क्रिया हीनं भक्ति हीनं हुता शना यत् देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे प्रायः चित्तानि अशेषानि तपः कर्म आत्म काण्डे यानि तेषां अशेषाणां श्रीकृष्ण अनुस्मरणं परं कृष्णाय नमः। कृष्ण 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 गोविंद गोविंद नारायण नारायण वासुदेव नमो नमः। राम 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 कृष्ण 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 अग्नये नमो नमः। अपवित्रः अपवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्व अवस्थां गतो अपि वा यः स्मरेत् शाम्भ पुण्डरीक आक्षं सवाह्य अभ्यं तरः शुचिः कृष्ण कृष्ण one time just drop the water. Take a little water. Just that's it. There we go. Priyata. Suddhirastu. Priyata. Suddhirastu. Just hold it together. Let's do that. Just let's. I want you to put this in door.
हस्तं
हेम
हेम
बीजं
बीजं
विभा
विभा
वसोः
वससो
वसोः
सोः
अनन्त
अनन्त
पुण्य
पुण्य
फलदं
फलदं
अतः
अतः
शान्तिं
शान्तं
प्रयच्छ मे
प्रयुज्यमे
इदं
इदं
कौशल
कौशल
गोत्रां
गोत्रं
सुष्मा
सुष्मा
नाम्नीं
नाम्नीं
मम
मम
मातुः
मातुः
मरण
मरण
काले
काले
तिथि
तिथि
वार
वार
नक्षत्र
नक्षत्र
योग
योग
करण
करण
पंचक
पंचक
दोष
दोष
निवृत्ति
निवृत्ति
अर्थम
अर्थम
इदं
इदं
गोदानं
गोदानं
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
कौशल
कौशल
गोत्रां
गोत्रं
सुष्मा
सुष्मा
नाम्नीं
नाम्नी
मातुः
मातुः
मरण
मरण
काले
काले
भूदानं
गोदानं
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
कौशल
कौशल
गोत्रां
गोत्रं
सुष्मा
सुष्मा
नाम्नीं
नाम्नी
मरणकाले
मरणकाले
इदं
इदं
स्वर्णदानं
स्वर्णदानं
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
कौशल
कौशल
गोत्रां
गोत्रं
सुष्मा
सुष्मा
नाम्नीं
नाम्नी
मरण
मरण
काले
काले
रजत
अजत
दानं
दानं
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
कौशल
कौशल
गोत्रां
गोत्रं
मातुः
मातुः
सुष्मा
सुष्मा
नाम्नीं
नाम्नी
मरण
मरण
काले
काले
इदं
इदं
स्वर्ण
स्वर्ण
भू
भू
स्वर्ण
स्वर्ण
स्थेय
स्थेय
इदं
इदं
वस्त्र
वस्त्र
पंचदान
पञ्चदान
दशदानं
दशदानं
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
अनेन
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 दश
दश
दानेन
दानेन
मातुः
मातः
अक्षय्य
क्षयः
तृप्तिकरम्
तृप्तिकरम्
अस्तु
अस्तु
आत्मा
आत्मा
शान्तिरस्तु
शान्तिरस्तु
इदं
इदं
दशदानं
दशदानं
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
Otherwise it will be low.
Want me to make a phone?
Yes. Yes. अद्य तिथिः विष्णुः तथा वारः नक्षत्रं विष्णुः एव च योगश्च करणं चैव सर्वं विष्णुमयं जगत् गोविन्द गोविन्द कौशल गोत्रां सुष्मा नाम्नीं मातरम् उद्दिश्य अद्य प्रेत दहन काले प्रेत आप्यायन अर्थं प्रेत तृप्त्यर्थं प्रेत प्रभूत बलि पिंडदानं करिष्ये ये अग्नि दग्धाः ये अनग्नि दग्धाः एव जाताः
जाताः
कुले
कुले
मम
मम
भूमौ
भूमौ
दत्तेन
दत्तेन
पिण्डेन
पिण्डेन
तृप्त
तृप्त
आयान्तु
आयान्तु
परां
परां
गतिम्। प्रेत प्रेत
श्वेत
तृप्ति
तृप्ति
अर्थम
अर्थम
कौशल
कौशल
गोत्रां
गोत्रां
सुष्मा
सुष्मा
नाम्नी
नाम्नी
स्वधा
स्वधा
नमः
नमः
तर्पयामि।
तर्पयामि
कौशल
कौशल
गोत्रां
गोत्रां
सुष्मा
सुष्मा
नाम्नी
नाम्नी
मम
मम
मातुः
मातुः
प्रेत
प्रेत
तृप्त्यर्थं स्वधा
स्वधा
नमः
नमः
तर्पयामि।
तर्पयामि
स्वधा
स्वधा
नमः
नमः
तर्पयामि।
तर्पयामि।
अनेन अनेन प्रभूत बलि दानेन मातुः प्रेतः अक्षय्य तृप्तिकरम् अस्तु। अक्षय्य तृप्तिकरम् अस्तु। So now we finish the prayers now. Why we are doing like this, these prayers? Without creator, no creation, right? Just now we thought about same word, some other person, okay? I want to use this word again. Without creator, no creation in the world, right? We believe the creator is the God. So, father and mother, they gave us to birth. So we want to respect to them. Nicely we want to send it to them. Okay? So we believe that before, so now this body we want to offer, not giving. Offering, giving, the difference, right? So we want to offer to the fire god. We call them Agni, fire god. Okay? Before offering, we want to purify the body. So that's why we have a sacred river, it's Ganga. So we have a small bottle of water, so we purify to the body. After that, they prayed to God, fire God, please take the body. So we are offering to this body, take it. Before permission, we can't offer to them, right? So they prayed here, fire God. So after that, they finished some prayer. And then in last minute, we want to offer to the cow and 10 offering some things and clothes and everything, because everything she leaving here, right? So we want to offer to her. So this month, what I said, everything in the Sanskrit language. This small thing, just I told Panditji came, they prayed. So without meaning, it's not fulfilled, right? So that's right. So small thing. I can't speak fluently in English. Sorry. Maybe I think we will understand what I wanted to say, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the final rites. After that, everyone want to stand up, please. If you can repeat this chanting mantra. Otherwise, just close whatever you want to pray to Father. Same thing. What you praying, we are repeating the in Sanskrit language. That's it. Okay. Okay. If you can repeat. शिव शिवः शिव शिवः कोशल गोत्रां सुष्मा नाम्नीं इमां प्रेतं इमं आत्मा ज्ञानतः कृतानां पापानां अज्ञानतः कृतानां पापानां मनसि वाक् कर्म इंद्रिय ज्ञान इंद्रिय कृत पापानां विमोचन द्वारा आत्मा शिवलोक स्वर्गलोक मोक्षलोक वैकुंठलोक कैलासलोक परलोक पितृलोक पुण्यलोक अवाप्ति सिद्धिरस्तु सुष्मा आत्मा शांतिरस्तु आत्मा शांति आत्मा शांति आत्मा शांति. So you put together, you did very well. Good job. Every single word you didn't miss, you will never skip. So they will be given to the flower. So just pray and pray to the flower. Okay? Give it to them. Just one more flower. They will come and they will come. Used to write now, okay? Used to write. Which means right things always right. Yeah, please come out here and just pray and put the flower here. Here. Here, you just. Ji. Please come. Please come. Yeah. Yeah, family is the last one. Okay. Yeah, please come. That's fine. Go. Yeah, go. So
Take your time, whenever you're ready, put a flower.
Good, very good. 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 Goodbye. Okay. Johnny, goodbye. 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 Thank you very much.
So this is the final after the competition. You want take 1 minute and we'll finish the prayer after the competition. Okay? That's fine. Okay. Sorry? Sorry? No. please scan. Om Ashishano Vidabona Yismogana Sobanashkirina Sangrandano Eka Vira Sadgun Sena Adayatsa Kavindraha Sangrandana Nivigena Vishwana Yukarena Vishavanena Vishwana Tadgrena Sayadata Mahisho Naragirote Navishnaha Sayurvasi Sanagandivir Vasi Sankrasra Indro Ganena. If you can, everyone can repeat. Ram Naam Satya Hai, 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 Ram Naam Satya Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Satya Hai, Ram Naam 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 Satya Hai, Ram Naam. Just turn around everyone. Love it. Chalo, just yeah. Okay, chalo. Yeah, we forward with it.
That comes in now. Hi everybody, thank you all for coming. Want to maybe sleep? We had dinner at a house now, so why don't we all go there? It's 39 Marcy Lane, in most of you know where it is. Okay. Thank you again for your coming.
So I'm just पहले वहाँ पे भी थोड़ा सा हट होता है तो देन राम राम सकते हैं तो खैर अपना अपना सब है वो तो लेकिन आई थिंक वी हैव टू मेक श्योर
Do the same thing. And both of us together.
सर्विस के बाद क्या है आपको बैठा नहीं बच्चे make sure that after the bottom, when you're coming outside, first time you want to नहीं हाँ 85 December morning when I saw him 11 o'clock, that time I called you, remember?
Yeah, yeah. Nah, I can't do you go. Run away. My baby all how many people they are waiting?
ग्रैंड कैनियन भी जाना है, लास वेगास भी जाना है, We are there for 20 years.
No, don't take nothing to no,
They can take all the
yes.
and they will.
आप कहाँ से कहाँ से ये चंडीगढ़ की
My wife's parents were in Secretariat, he was a doctor. Old doctor.
Yes. Are we reading the photo? Are we reading the photo?
One of the place custom
अच्छा custom
diplomatic service
Here's a photo. Then you want us to read those photos and picture.
Online, I asked them, they said that, no, so I asked them, he says, fine, he said, you know, they will handle it very nice, they will, if they're not allowed to, we're not allowed to. When they take it, we will go in the morning, we carry it, we might again have to.
It's a very
You have to get the festival.
Life is all about change.
Whatever you want.
मजा तो यही है कि बदलते रहो.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right.
New class comes, it's very
Yes, yes.
He hasn't met Meera. You don't remember Meera at all, do you?
No.
She was doing her PhD.
Yes. I don't. I mean, I think we met you a couple of times, but it was not very much.
I don't think I've ever met Vibhor.
You must have. He
Never.
He would. He used to. Okay, maybe it's fine. Because he was in Woodstock, so when you guys came over to watch movies and all, he was. Vicky would get in trouble. But Vicky would go home with me, but I would go home without me. Okay. Huh? So there's a reunion coming at us.
I know. तुम जा रहे हो क्या?
I don't know.
You don't know. 82. It's December 12th and 13th.
I might. I'm debating. But I see every picture. The point is really up to Vicky. I can recognize five people. Everybody else, I have no idea who they are. I know the names, I think. And next thing while I was like, oh, this is the one, and so of course we did. And I went, where? Okay, what did we ever do?
I had gone down to meet Vazi. There was this guy sitting next to him. I said, hello, my name is Ravi. He says, I know you. Sabarwa, Sabi. इतना बदल Rajinder Sabarwa?
Yeah, vaguely.
Vaguely. Send you a photo.
Yeah, no, so, but to I mean,
Yeah, of
but to
yes.
Rajesh Agarwal, you know, 5 6 of us, right? And beyond that.
Oh, this is your daughter?
Yes.
What's your name?
Sonali.
Sunali.
So,
How old are you?
This is
Yes, I've known your dad. Oh my God, just above.
50 years? Really?
Just above.
That's what I get. I'm just a rich guy. I think that's close enough.
We went to IIT together.
That's what I get. You guys are talking about school and stuff. So I kind of get it.
Actually 40 something.
Close enough.
Still, not 50.
Close enough.
Wait, so you guys coming home, right?
Actually, no. We've been on the road for 9 hours. We went to Clinton. The original plan was to go visit our friends in Clinton. They are leaving, I'm leaving. And then this thing came up, fusion. So I said, okay, we'll cut that short, we'll come back. But
Where are you leaving?
I'm going to China and...
Okay. Have you moved back to India?
No, I keep going back because of my parents.
Okay, no, because you said that I see you in Bangalore thing.
Yeah, because I keep going back.
But then I got and then there are multiple Rajis as well. Thinking
No.
Well, there are multiple Rajis there.
That is true.
That
That is true.
But yeah.
What a ceremony, huh?
Could have used it a while ago.
Hey, Vibhor,
This is my friend Ravi from IIT.
we've heard a lot about you. Remember ever? I must have.
I'm sure that, yeah.
You in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
क्या कर रहे हो? What do you do?
Yes.
Like you?
I work, no, I've consulted work, yeah. I work
I went to the wrong funeral. This is right on my, they have 2 funeral powers. I was, he was at IIT too.
Really? You was same time?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
You were just
Come on,
in
quick, quick, quick.
She's chemical engineering.
Same.
With him.
Actually, went to IIT about, I think, a year and a half back. Hasn't changed. Which is really bad.
No, they've got a lot of buildings.
There was new buildings, but I went to our old building. They have the wires are still on the outside. Okay, it's too bright. All the wires on the fence thing. I was looking and saying,
Something's danger. Danger.
I was thinking, no, it's supposed to be a world-class university. It's like, what world-class was that? Okay.
These are both
Nina. Yeah, to my wife. Okay.
Nice meeting you guys.
Thank
Very
you.
sorry the situation.
This was unexpected. How did
So are you
how
back
did
for
she
the
find it? That's some-
Nope.
It was a heart attack. I think.
I asked the office. Upstairs. I can't hear you as well. Who is that? The uncle? Because he's your has to fly. He was trying to Florida. He need me childcare. So I asked my sister office.
So what else? One more?
The what?
That's the last one. No, there's more over there. That one too. Too many of them. So that
Are we going to be on the phone? I will put it there.
3 days of
We're gonna have a very good smelling house.
91.
Miss Rose is gonna be. She has a crystal. You mind if I have a little?
Your mom's not bad. Your mom.
My mom has a red
Your
one.
mom good at it. Your mom. And the thing is,
Wow.
the thing was, she only used the different flowers. Their life will always seem like.
Oh, the orchid thing?
Yeah, they were married or whatever. Huh?
Uncle, you think the orchids?
When they were both 16 or 17, they lived opposite each other.
It literally sounds like a Bollywood movie. सामने वाली खिड़की में.
Exactly. Never met each other.
Did the parents know it? No, you didn't know that.
But
Okay, so she was actually mom.
in Delhi?
Yes. Okay, so in our rental colony, so basically what happened was that my grandfather was posted somewhere. I think Mother. And at that time, Allah was in very bad shape. We had a lot of crisis and everything else. So he sent mom to live with my uncle in Delhi. He lived opposite where my grandfather lived. So where my uncle lived, my grandfather lived with him. Okay. So they were neighbors. So it was basically they were a real track between, but you could walk over it.
Is there a black face or that?
Sonali, go and keep them in the car.
That's how the he was telling us just now.
She's going to come back in.
Mira from
Oh, you're from
Chandigarh.
Chandigarh. Actually, where in Chandigarh? Okay, so my grandfather retired. Papa actually retired in this thing. And after
You need to go
retirement,
and keep them in the car.
it's kind of the Red Sea. And so I used to go to Chandigarh a lot. It was a very sleepy town. To be honest, it was a very sleepy town. I mean, when I go from Delhi to
But
Chandigarh.
nice to drive them.
Huh? But I learned how to drive a scooter. Okay.
That's good.
Because me, you.
So you used to drive your Mercedes in, what is it? No, you had a Mercedes, right? Yeah, at Dad's, yeah.
Yeah, but
I remember going on
okay,
that.
once in a while I got to bring it, but generally the only time I drove that car was to go pick up relatives from there.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, Daddy would not let me pick up. I think towards the last year, so
I think
he
you
once in a while,
I
yes.
think we go.
And once in a while I bought it without telling him that.
Oh, there you go.
I told him that I had to go there, but I will come to it. But I had to come by to pick up something. Okay, so that was fine. Yeah.
Hi, so this is,
So this is my friend Ravi
hi.
from IIT.
And you are?
I'm Giselle.
Giselle. French.
Amira.
She was also at IIT with us. So.
Oh, really?
But
Wow.
she was doing a PhD, we were doing a bachelor's.
Yes, she will be back. Yeah.
So Giselle, what, oh, you're the one who works at IBM.
I do.
That's why you live near Poughkeepsie.